Hello, and welcome to the Week 1 assignment video for MAN583, Strategic Planning and Implementation. Now, this is going to be a fairly brief session here because we just have a couple of assignments. We have one discussion post that you're going to need to do and one article review for the first week. So I just want to go through in the following video to show you, where to go and what to do so that your first set of assignments will be ultimately very successful. Again, if you haven't seen me before, I'm Dr. Greg Parsons. I'm the instructor for this particular class. Let me know if you have any questions. So here we're looking at the Week 1 assignment. You have one discussion post and one article summary. Let's look at the discussion post first. Clicking on that, it will bring you to this screen, and here you have your questions that this first week discussion is going to be based upon. You're to choose one of the following topics. Topic 1, why has strategic management become so important for today's corporations, and how does strategic management typically evolve in a corporation? Or topic 2, do you agree with the economist Milton Friedman that social responsibility is a fundamentally subversive doctrine that will only hurt business corporations' long-term efficiency? Why or why not? So you get to choose one of those two. You would write up your initial post in Word, run it through spell checker, check for grammar, make any revisions there. Then you would submit to Week 1 Safe Assign Draft, review the results, make any revisions necessary, and then submit to Safe Assign Final. Once that's been done, then you're ready to come down to Week 1 discussion for your posting. Clicking on that will bring you to this screen, and that brings you to the Week 1 discussion post where you can copy and paste your initial post to answer to the question for this week's discussion into the text section of Week 1 discussion. Now, your follow-up responses to other classmates or to me do not have to be run through Safe Assign, and they're much more conversational in nature rather than formal. However, your initial post should include outside references. This may be the textbook, this may be articles, but this is meant to be a substantial contribution on your part to this particular discussion question. Okay. Follow-up responses can be less formal and shorter. When you're ready to go, you would click on the thread. Now, when you're replying, when you're posting, make sure you click on the reply to the initial question up here at the top. That means that I will always see that as your initial post to the response. When you're responding to a student's post, then you will reply to that specific post that they've made. Okay, the article summary is not that much different. The only thing different is you've got to review an article from the Kaiser University Online Library on one of these subjects that are listed here: strategic planning, executive ability, work environment, management, organizational effectiveness. So these are really hints when you get into the library to do a search on these particular topics and then pick a academic journal article to read and write a review about. Just like with the discussion post, you need to submit it to Safe Assign in a draft form and then in a final form. When you've made all your corrections, then you'll click on Week 1 Review. This will bring you to this screen. You'll be clicking on the reply, just like we did in the discussion post. So article reviews and discussion posts are very similar to each other in terms of the process that you go through to submit your work. If you have any questions about the process, now is a good time in Week 1 to get in touch with me and say, I'm not quite sure that I'm doing the right thing. Is this what you mean? Okay, that's no problem with asking that kind of a question. When you're ready to post, you're going to cut and paste your article into the text section of the threaded discussion here. Now some students will say, well, since that's my work is in a file format, can't I just attach the file? Yes, you can. It's possible to do it. However, it doesn't do me that much good, and it doesn't do your classmates much good, because they can't read what you've written unless they upload the file and then write the response to the file. So really, you copy and then paste into the text section, text editor section of the screen here to reply in the appropriate fashion. And then, of course, submit. Keys to success to be a good student for week 1. Your posts are really meant to be a mini paper on the subject, and you should consider it that way. You should use outside sources. Your contribution to the discussions should be considered substantial, so that when you take a look at what you've done, you say, yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm impressed by that. And your writing style should be scholarly and professional, not conversational, not informal. It should be correctly punctuated, correctly spelled. You should have good organization to your writing. You should have introduction and conclusion to your writing. Just the way you would write any paper, it's going to be a little bit shorter than normal. When you respond to other students or to me, then we take a less formal tone. Obviously, it's going to be a bit shorter and more conversational in nature, and you'll see the same thing when my responses to you. I will be generally much more conversational and not use the same kind of standards that we would use for the initial post. Your initial post on the discussion is Wednesday. That gives us time to respond to your classmates and for me to take a look at what you've done and respond to that. Anything after Wednesday evening is considered late. Compose your posts in Word. Use spell checker and grammar checker. Make your revisions. Read it over, review it, revise it. Review what you've revised and revise it again. What we're aiming for are excellent quality mini papers about the discussion topics. And the only way you're going to get excellent copy is by revising your initial work over and over again. Get somebody else to read it. Ask what they think. Ask for any improvements so they understand it. Could it be clearer? Could it be better organized? And then any written work is going to run through SafeAssign as a draft, as a final, and when all that is complete, then you're actually ready to post the written work in the classroom. All right. Hopefully this is, again, mostly review for how to operate these particular procedures in Blackboard. If you have any questions, be sure and get in touch with me, and good luck on your first assignments.